Hello there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Age of Wonders 3. At the end of the last video, when I finished, I actually hit the end turn button off camera, and our friend Baradir declared war on me, as I expected he would do. He does have a few units sniffing around near our cities, which we do have to be careful of. He does have a unit very close to our throne city. He's also got some units here heading towards this these ruins, but I don't think he's going to get close to anything. I will pull the dragon back to defend this area as much as needs be, so I'm going to do that right away. And we'll wipe him out as quickly as possible. We are going to go and take this city here if we get the opportunity to do so. Let's go and have a look over there and see what he has. He's only got one unit in there, so we're good. You're going to stay there as a little defensive unit. See what we can see coming in from either direction. I do have to get some units down to my throne city, though, because I've got nothing here defending, which is a little bit of a stupid move on my part. We could move you up here. It's probably going to take you too long to get there, though. What we could do, of course, is we could summon units in, because this is only a wall. Do we have any summonable units? Yes, we do. Summoning a gargantuan animal would take multiple turns, so it's a little bit silly doing that. So let's go for an eldritch animal. And we can summon that there. So at least it does give us a couple... Oh, an extra unit. We're making far more mana than we can use, so we may as well actually have units that require a mana maintenance cost instead of a gold maintenance cost. There's not really a downside to doing that. What do we need here? Anything really? No, let's just go on to knowledge actually, and just concentrate on getting ourselves up in the research tree. We do have an army up here now. This army was going to go and try and deal with that. Oh, what was it called? Forgotten what the thing's called. Tell me about the quest again. Shrine of Smiting. That was it. Which is over there. I think we will still deal with that, because this army is a little bit too far away to effectively get down to our front lines. You can't do an awful lot from there, but you're just going to move closer in an effort to try and deal with these guys if they come too close. You could just go and attack that right away. And in fact, you probably should. At least if they do take our throne city, we can take it back quite quickly. So one of my viewers did mention recently, with regards to buying buildings and upgrades within cities, is that the way this game works, everything is focused on war. It's the only win condition. So everything that you do at your cities, everything that you build is based around producing units, making stronger units and going to war. And for that reason, it's not like something like Civilization, where you do have to put a lot of thought into the buildings you build, because sometimes you'll build a building in Civilization and get little to no benefit from doing it. And in fact, there's usually a downside, because building a building costs time, construction time, which could be wasted because you could be using that to build something else. And also there's usually an upkeep for buildings. I mean, there is an upkeep for buildings in this game as well, but it's quite easy, because I haven't yet found, in Age of Wonders, I haven't yet found a penalty to just spamming out huge numbers of cities. Now, obviously, you have the happiness mechanic in Civilization. So, the more cities you build, research becomes more expensive, culture purchases become more expensive, and your happiness decreases. But as far as I've found in Age of Wonders 3, you can just basically keep creating city after city, whether it's cities that you settle yourself, or whether you capture somebody else's city. There doesn't really appear to be a downside to it. Now, yes, there is this sort of city happiness and empire happiness thing built into this game, but I've never really had an issue with it so far, so certainly got to keep our eye on it and see how it goes. But it's very, very easy to be pumping out enough mana to hit the mana cap every turn, Gold, as you can see, we're spending out a fair bit of upkeep, but we do have a decent amount coming back in. So, I think you are going to come back here towards the front line, to be fair. This guy could well turn around and come back, but I think we're going to deal with him with the dragon on the next turn as soon as possible. My main concern here at the moment is our throne city, because we do have these guys close by. Now, they are fairly weak units, so it's not too much of a problem, but there again, we're not in a great position ourselves. We do have a nicely defended city, but we don't have any range here. Actually, what are we building? We're building a Gryphon Roost. I'm going to cancel that, and if we can build a hunter. Now, we can't really rush it. It's probably not going to get out on this turn, and they probably will attack, which could be unfortunate. You can't move. Everyone else is out of movement. You are going to... You're going to return, actually. At least if they do take the city, I can nab it back from them pretty much on the next turn. So that seems like a plan. What are we going to do with you? I certainly think we should go down here and take this watchtower. And now we can see one of your cities that only has a single unit in there. Can we get close enough to take it? No. But we could potentially do that on the next turn. So, sit tight for now. You're also going to sit tight in case those guys come in. You're going to move on to there. And you are going to build a city. Now, as you can see, construct an outpost or rebuild a city which will match the settlers' race. Rebuilding a race city restores 50% of its original population and is a good act. And it's a valid location for that. So we're going to pop a city there. And because it was a race city, we'll actually get some additional population. So let's go on to the next turn. We do have a fight here. Now, this is actually an army of independence. I didn't realise that Shrine of Smiting was going to have friends, although they're not particularly high level. We're going to have to go for it anyway. What I want to avoid doing, though, is using any spells if at all possible. And the reason for that is I want to save my spell casting ability for use against defending my city. Now, these shrines can do a lot of damage. So I may well have to spend some points on it. In fact, Rust Strike causes target enemy armored unit to suffer -2 defense and deals 20 damage. Damage to target enemy machine unit. Attempts to deteriorate it until the end of combat. I don't want to spend mana points, but I think I've got to do it. And it didn't resist, which is good. This thing does so much damage, I really had to do that. There wasn't an option around it, really. And we don't have a lot of units that are decent on range either, which is a bit of a shame. That Shrine of Smiting can literally take us all out. One thing I do have to be careful of here is not to keep my units too close together. Right, I was hoping you'd get in range of at least one of the units, but unfortunately you haven't. Going to start moving units forward. But I don't want to put units in a position where they're all clumped up together, because that will end up in my destruction. If we end up losing this army, which would be a real pain, but it won't be the end of the world if we do. Can we reach anybody from here? No. And these guys are probably all going to have massive resistances to... Oh no, they are devout. What are we going to do? We'll see if we can hit you with that. It's got a range penalty. It's probably not worth it, really, for the amount of damage that we did, but... Oh, well. I want to keep you at the back, because I've got a feeling that Shrine of Smiting will try and target you, and I'd rather use you to heal up, and we'll keep you at the back. That shrine on its own would have probably been enough to make this particular battle a complete nightmare. The fact that it has friends does not fill me with confidence. Its single target damage is absolutely immense, as you can see. What I really want to try and do is to take the shrine out. That's my #1 priority, if I can. So everybody's going for my leader here. Which is not good. And of course, these guys going for my archers. Okay, what can we do? Let us first try and deal with these guys if we can. Didn't finish them off, sadly, but we do need to try and deal with that shrine. We're going to take a lot of damage from doing this. This will be a flanking attack. What are you guys going to do? I think you're going to go around and try and... Oh, no, I wanted you to go around from behind. Why did you go in from the front? At least they did take them out, though, which is a good thing. You guys, unfortunately, can't get close enough to do anything, which is a real shame. What about my priests? Can you get close enough to heal my leader? Yes, you can. So we're going to do that. I didn't want to cast spells, really, on this game, but I think we're going to have to. Simply because they have an awful lot of nasty stuff. Now, I know that doesn't do any damage to the shrine itself, but we do need to try and get that down as much as possible. The shrine is probably going to be completely immune to spirit protection. Yeah. So we can't hit it with spirit. It does have a fire weakness. Don't have an awful lot I can do with you. How much movement does that have left? I could just attack it directly, but it's probably not smart. You've got 15 health left. Right, we can take you out with ranged, which will kill you. And that's one unit less to deal with. We've still got these guys. Got my cavalry. Still can't really get anywhere. I'm really... don't want to bunch everybody up at this point, though. Because I know if I do, the shrine's just going to do its AoE thing, which it probably will do anyway. Ah, it tried to move out. It took a hit. Okay, it didn't kill that unit off, which is actually good. He's going to do that. Okay, we've lost one unit. That I can live with. You're coming in to try and attack my priests. But that's fine, because... Right, you're going to attack directly. That's you dead. How close do my archers need to be to hit that shrine? Right, we'll get 2 shots there. Obviously, we do have a bit of a line of sight penalty, but any damage is good damage. You guys are still alive, which is very unfortunate. We're going to kill you off straight away. We can't do our heal here. There's not a lot of point doing anything else either. Let's just get you out of the way. Now, what can we do with you? We could cast a spell with you, actually, although we haven't got anything that's all that useful. A smite wouldn't be any good. So let's give you divine protection on yourself. It might just save you through this turn. At least we're just down to the shrine now. There we go. It's doing its nasty AoE thing. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage all around. Luckily for us, though, it's still deteriorating from that previous spell. Right, can we move you to a better position where you've got a better line of sight? Yes, and you do get 3 shots here, so... Not an awful high amount of damage. Still can't heal with you yet, so there's not an awful lot I can do about that. Let's charge in and do as much damage as we can with the cavalry. Obviously, we are going to take some retaliation, but I think we've actually done enough damage now to kill it off. There we go. Even if we hadn't have killed it, it would have used all its retaliation. It wouldn't have been able to have actually done an attack on the next round. So we did, unfortunately, lose a unit. But we did complete that quest. We actually get ourselves a nice little archer, which is good, because we'll keep that one. And we get ourselves a weapon. We've lost a city that was undefended, sadly. But we will go down there and deal with that very, very shortly. Dragon, you still don't have full health, but you have a lot of movement, and you're going to come down here ready to mix things up a little. We can select a new research, which we are going to do, and we're just for the 3 turns, we're just going to get druidry. Now, before we do, right, where did that other unit go? That was strange. He's disappeared off somewhere. I need to try and find out where he is. Now, let's get this sorted out here. We are going to take you. Yeah, he's not very happy, but he's going to join our little army. And we're going to go and pick up the goodies. Oh, it's on the ground somewhere. There it is. So, an imaginative Rod of Baumgart. It's a mythical weapon. It's +1 melee strength, +1 fire attack, +1 on melee, +1 frost on melee. And entangling touch attempts to entangle the target unit. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. I think we will take that as our weapon. Surprised they haven't joined me yet, actually. Yeah, they'll still only join for gold. It's because they're pure evil. That's the problem. Could get them to join, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, you have the ability to get some upgrades. We should certainly do that. What would be the best thing to give you? I think we'll just actually give you some strengths and resistances. We'll give you some melee strength. We'll give you some range strength. Don't really need the night vision. We will save that. Ah, there you are. You've disappeared off into that direction. Can I take you? Can't quite get to you in a single turn. This army could. But I think I'm going to leave it there and chase you down with my main army. What else have we got around? Obviously they did take that city from us down at the bottom of the map. Which I do need to try and recover. Which is down here. Shouldn't be too difficult. I do have a unit here actually. We might be able to get there in a couple of turns. It's not a major city, but it does look like it's being raised. So it would be nice if we could get there quickly enough to stop that from happening. Production here. Do we need any production here? We were building a Gryphon spire, so I suppose we should do that. And we'll get our henge built as well. So we can start building our proper Archdruid units. And we'll go into Seek Knowledge here as well, I think. We'll keep you on to merchandise. We'll just get some money coming in. Shrine, shooting grounds, war hall. Army requires orders. Yeah, you can't quite get close enough on this turn. Should have gone on to the haste berries, really. But you can wait up. What am I going to do with you? Am I going to use you to attack something? I could well do, but we're going to take you, actually. And you're going to go and attack this city. Very likely victory. And what I have decided with this guy, because he likes to constantly declare war on me every other turn, I am not going to peace out with him. It's just pointless. So I am going to now start moving. I'm going to keep one army on the east side of the map, which I will use to try and get all of those cities onto my side. But I am now literally going to bring all the remaining armies over to the west and just keep the pressure on this guy. Got no spells left that I can cast. We are in the stronger position here, but I'm just going to start moving units forward to deal with these guys. Probably shouldn't use my priests right out at the front, but I think we're good all in all. Don't have any undead here, so don't need to worry too much. Let's get you facing in the right direction. There we go. Some more boar riders. Put you on guard, and we've got our storm sisters as well, who we'll bring up to the front. They'll probably take some shots from crossbows. Right, okay. Let's see what they do. We're close enough now that they're probably going to try and move forward and do something. Yeah, there we go. And as expected, they went for the Storm Sisters. Okay, so let's retaliate. Do have a range penalty here, but still get 3 shots on them. Do a fair bit of damage. We're going to hit them with our Forge Priests as well. Didn't quite get the kill, but we can do that with our Boar Riders. We won't take any retaliation. Going to take our hero, who can't quite get close enough to hit with Spirit Ray, which is sad. Can now. A couple of shots with a penalty, sadly, but some damage is better than none. You guys are never going to get close enough at all. And we can't quite get there with the Boar Riders. They're probably going to try and go for the boar riders that's directly in front of them. Oh no, they're going around the side. Yeah, well that's pretty much them finished now. So, oh, let's press the right button. Do as much damage as we can. Got a line of sight penalty because that fence is in the way. Only get one shot because, you know, they're not a brilliant unit. Triple shot, just to weaken them up. And then we'll go in with the boar riders. Should get a double attack at least. First one's flanking, kills them outright. Brilliant. So we've taken that city at least. He's only got himself to blame. He was the one that insisted on declaring war constantly. So we're going to absorb that city. Not quite sure where his capital is. You get an upgrade, which is very, very nice. What should we give you? Blessing of Health bestows the living with extra life force. All friendly units gain plus 10 health till the end of combat. Yes, please. That would be a very, very nice spell to have, particularly on one of our forward armies. Can't see what's going on up here. Don't think he's really going to be able to get to me by going across to the north. So I think I'm actually going to come down in this direction and actually apply pressure here if we can. Not sure anyone's going to get to that before it's raised. You guys are just going to camp up because you're defending the city a little bit. You can't reach that on this turn. You require my orders. Of course you do, but you can't get anywhere either. Although you can run onto the hasteberries, which now gives you full movement. You're still not going to get there in time. So let's go and have a little look what we've got over here. You require my orders too. You've took a fair bit of damage, but we're going to go and take this... Well, I would have liked to have taken that watchtower. I think we probably should. The more watchtowers we can take, the better. We have taken some damage, so we do need to be careful here. So this is the army that I will keep over on the east side of the map and just use to do all these little little quests that we've got going on. Now they're going to get to go first, but they'll probably just defend. Oh no, they are moving forwards. I was going to say what I'd like to do is try and move this guy over and get my priest to heal him up. Because they've got a fair bit of ranged, and I've got no spellcasting ability left. Can you heal this unit? Yes, you can. So go around there and do that. You are going to take a... You're out of range. You're going to move forwards. Then you're going to take a triple shot at these guys. You do get the range penalty because you're not an elf. Now we've got our undead archers who are very, very nice. You are going to take a triple shot at these guys. Again, you get a range penalty, but have inflicted bleeding wounds on them, which is good. You've taken a fair bit of damage. Entangling Touch could be useful, although it's only melee range. So let's use Spirit Ray. And I'm going to try and use it on these guys, because these are the guys most likely to do some damage to my priests or finish these archers off. Not quite dead, which is a shame. Cavalry is at low health. Going to charge them down now. I know this is a little silly because it does put me very close range to these halberd guys who do have first attack against me, which is a little bit of a silly thing to do. Right, what's the range on this? One more hex. So if I move here... Yeah, it's a range penalty. Wasn't an awful lot I could do about that anyway. I should have actually moved further forwards because I only get one shot and I keep forgetting about that. I'll probably lose a unit here. Probably these guys, actually. Because even though I'm retaliating, they still get first strike. Yeah, they're going to finish the cavalry off, which is a real shame. But they have put themselves quite close together, and they are both very low on health. So I'm going to move forwards, take a double shot at these guys. No, we'll just go for these guys because we're flanked. These guys aren't going to be happy, of course, because they're evil. And we'll take our triple shot with you. Brilliant, we finished that fight off nicely. And we get the watchtower so we can have a look around. We're going to go up and nab that one and get everything else around here as well. There's also at least one more city down here that we do need to try and get on side. And we'll get the rest of the map uncovered. You still require my orders. I don't really think it's worth you doing anything else at the moment. Although you could start going up there to explore, but you need to rest up, really. And we will just end the turn. See what happens. Production here. I think we need to get a barracks going and some walls. We'll get a lab. And what do we need here? Let's get the Grand Palace in. Dragon Army requires orders. Now they've got quite a few units floating around. How far down can we get you? We can get you into the city. Oh, they do have a unit there, which is a pain. Very likely victory though, because we are a much better unit. We do need to try and capture this city back. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do. We also have all of our spells if we want to cast. He gets the first go. Does nothing but defend. We're going to run forwards as much as we can. I'm not even going to waste a turn on them. Waste a spell on them. What actually are they? Just crossbowmen. Yeah, not even going to waste... Right, what's their range? Okay, so they can't hit me on this hex, so they'll have to move closer to do so, which they probably will. Yeah, they're moving to give themselves a better line of sight. I'm going to run up and smack them in the face. Does a lot of damage to them. They're engaged now, so they shouldn't be able to use their crossbows, and if they try and move away, they'll take damage. But instead, they decide to attack me and die nice and easily. Which is good, because it means I get my city back. Now, what else do they have around here? We've got you guys, and we've got you guys. Both of which need dealing with. Dragon, what's your health like? Not quite full. And you guys do have a bit of fire resistance. What about you? How close are you to dealing with them? You could actually go and deal with them. So that is what you are going to do. Manual combat. I know there are some of these fights which I think are so easy I should literally just hit the auto combat button, but I'm so paranoid of the AI just losing units when there's no need to. Right, they are going to advance. They're draconians and they're out in the ice here, so that they're not going to like that particularly well. Taking a bit of fire damage there, but nothing we can't deal with. We do have a lot of ranged units here. So we're going to give everything we've got with the range here. And instantly they're down one unit. We've got a Storm Sister. I'm going to take a triple shot here. Much better when the Storm Sisters get the ability to stun. Because then at least you get 3 chances of it actually stunning them before anything else. Archers, you are going to move forwards and take a triple shot at these guys. And they are finished. And then our hunters need to get slightly further forward. They do have projectile resistance, but you're quite gnarly. Didn't quite finish them off, sadly, but we'll just run in with our hero. And thwack, you're dead. If only all fights were that quick and easy. So that's that done. And now we can use the dragon on these two guys, because these guys are fairly weak. And our dragon should easily be able to mash them. Very likely victory. It's not like we were expecting anything else. They'll get to move first, of course. They've parked right next to each other, which is nice, so they should be nice and easy for us to cook. Can't quite reach them, so we are going to have to move forwards a little. Let's just try moving forwards 1 hex and see if that gives us enough to get the extra range. Yes, it does, so we're going to go and cook them from there. Does a lot of damage, and we're still quite a distance away. They are coming closer. They'll throw some stones. Does a colossal 3 damage. Okay, well, our Flame Breath is on cooldown, so we're just going to go in and melee that first unit. Don't take any retaliation, because we kill them before they have a chance. They're probably going to throw stones once more, do another 3 or 4 damage to me. And then, of course, we can just run in and melee them to death. Another nice and easy fight. So this guy's not doing very well. He's losing a lot of his forces. He's also starting to lose a few of his cities. Next thing we are going to have to do is deal with this city over here. This may well be his capital, actually. Let's start moving all of our units in together. In fact, I do believe that this is his throne city. Don't quite have the movement to see any... Oh, we can just move in one more hex. Is this his throne city? You can't go any further forwards. You are going to stay there because you definitely need to heal up. What are we going to do about you? You haven't really got much movement left, but we do need to start bringing you forwards. You are going to... You've almost healed up, actually. We'll start heading up towards this watchtower. Does have some units on it, so we're not going to attack it this turn. And that is the end of that turn and the end of the video. So we're getting a little bit further. We're working our way through the research tree. We own quite a decent section of the map now, actually. Almost half of it. We are going to sort out our little friend, who is in this bottom left-hand corner. So I assume that the... third and final opponent, which we haven't yet met, is somewhere up here in the top left, and we'll continue to try and get ourselves all the little bits and pieces over on this side of the map. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Age of Wonders 3, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.